Hey everybody. Hey y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? So y'all just came back from the Chambers after hours and it was bomb per usual. This time we had the after hours on the depot. And so, due to, all the, security stuff, I couldn't do any filming. So, which was fine. I actually um, you know, just enjoy myself a little bit more. I enjoy filming too, child, but I enjoyed myself just a little bit more because I was just kind of more present, with the people who were there. So, sometimes it's a really good thing when you put down the camera and stuff and you just be. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know. Oh, you guys, let me show you my little jumpsuit. It's so cute. I felt cute today. I felt cute. Hold on. Let me let you guys see this. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute, y'all? I think it's cute. Y'all know how the kids used to say. Well, how y'all used to say, child. It wasn't even that long ago. It feels like it's forever ago. Y'all know when y'all used to say, very cutesy, very demure, very mindful. Like, does anybody say that anymore? Y'all got tired of it. I was tired of it like when it first started. I was like, child. Yeah. But anyways, so y'all, we gotta talk. And look, this is informal, child. Like I told you, I'm just getting back. I'm about to get comfortable. I'm about to take these earrings off, honey. Look, and these are so cute, right? Like they're green. And if you could see like really close, I have on like some green. I have on some green shadow on the bottom of my eyes. My eyes were watering like crazy today. Um, and I put some eye drops in before I left for the chamber event. But still, see, the thing is that I get hot so easily, right? So you guys know I always, always have my fan. Okay, so I always have my handy dandy fan, child. So I just was like, whoo, you know. I think I'm going through a little change, y'all. For real, I think I'm going through a little change. So, child, every time every time I get to moving around and, doing what I do, I start sweating. So, um, as I was like fanning myself, I guess the wind from the fan was making my eyes water. So they've kind of like my makeup's running, my eyes are a little red now. So it is what it is, child. It's like a give and take. Like I'm sweating, so I fan myself and then my eyes start watering. So it's just like I feel like I'm just leaky, child. Just leaky. Okay. Look, so I got some almond oil. I remember I don't know where though. I remember getting this body oil spray. It came in a little like maybe something like this, like it was a little one with a little spray thing. And then I could spray it on. I wonder if I still got that. I probably still have it in the closet. Yeah. Cause see, I haven't been in there. See, the closet is now Phillips, right? Because I have the glam room. So now, like, this is my closet. Yeah. The nerve. The nerve, right? So this is my closet now. And Phil uses like what was our, walk-in closet. He just uses that for himself. But I still got stuff in there, y'all. I'm bad. Like I need an intervention. Okay. I'm gonna call it intervention for myself. I need intervention. Okay, y'all see I got a shoe problem. Y'all see I got a shoe problem, right? Okay. Well, I gotta get it together. But I don't know, I kind of like purses too. But y'all, I promise you, I do not like buy expensive shoes. I don't buy expensive shoes, but now I'm like on that, you know, I'm at that age, I guess, or maybe, my body is at that point where it's like I just want to wear comfortable shoes. So, but I actually really don't spend a lot of money on shoes, and I don't spend a lot of money on purses, even though I would say that like I like shoes more than purses though. Like I'm more into shoes than purses. So, because I really been like all I really been wearing is my little fanny pack. I hadn't even really been carrying a purse for real for a while. Cause it's like I don't know. I want my hands to be free. I guess because I be doing so much filming and stuff. I just be wanting my hands to be free, and you know, and having like a purse on my shoulder and all of that would just be, just more in the way. So yeah, okay. So before my hair is wet still. So before we went to the chamber after hours, I put this clear. I showed y'all the other day. I put that clear color in my hair because y'all, like, I was thinking that I needed like a color touch up, but I really didn't want to get any color. Um, because I'm starting to see a little dinginess and starting to see a little gray, but I really didn't want to color it. But I decided to do that clear, semi-permanent color, just to see if I could just give my hair a shine, just give it like a clear coat so it'll be shiny, like a little more shiny. So I think it helped though. I think it helped a lot. So I took some before and after pictures so y'all can kind of see. Well, I didn't take the after pictures yet, but I did take some before pictures so y'all can see like the difference between that with that clear color. Cause y'all, I be saying like I don't know if anybody can really like do color and it just not get damaged at all. It just seems like anytime you color, it's going to get damaged. And I don't really have a desire to like color my locks. I mean, I see some really nice color locks, but I just don't really have a desire to color mine. I just really want them to just, really be their natural color now. Even a dingy brown, I guess. Um and just grow and thrive. I don't really want to do too much. And I think it's really doing well, you guys. Like look at my length. Like y'all see? And see now it's like to the point where when I put on, like a collar shirt or something, I gotta move my hair out the way, like, oh I gotta you know right. Y'all like it. Y'all, I promise you. Best decision I ever made for my hair. Best decision, hands down. Hands down, best decision. Y'all, I know y'all saw the caption. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. Where is that meme? Where is that meme? Or it's like a little video. Um this lady was like, I'm pressing charges. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? It's like I'm pressing charges. But yeah, I'm pressing charges against my father. Mm-hmm. Am I am. Okay. Okay, let me see. Um, let me see if I can find it. So y'all wondering what for, huh? Mm-hmm. I know. I mean, that's a logical question. It's logical. Uh, but I'm not gonna tell you yet. I'm not gonna tell y'all yet. But I'm pressing charges, child. And and I think when y'all hear what I gotta say about it, I think y'all might be on one accord with me on this. I think y'all might be. For real. I think you might be on one accord with me on this one. You probably gonna be like, well, you know what? You got a point. And I can pull a biblical reference. Okay. So even the Christians will be on board, right? They're gonna be on board because they're gonna know like it's legit. Like I have like basis for this, and biblical backing. So I'm pressing charges, like I am. And like I actually want y'all to like hear, I want you to hear what I have to say about this. I want you to hear it. Like, I want you to get the full story, full context, and everything. But I don't want to just tell you like my story. Like, I think I told you, I remember the other day that we have a rare benefit here. Okay. The benefit that we have right now is that we have my father's own words, right? In his book, he wrote a book. Y'all remember I read that thing on Sunday, child. I still been trying to recover from reading that. Okay. Because, child, that was something else. That was really something else. Did y'all did y'all listen to it? Child. Oh, but I told y'all, I was editing it. I haven't posted it yet because I've been trying to like, I've been asking God, like, okay, how do you want me to go about this? Because you can't just be all like willy nilly about it. You know what I'm saying? You got to really like consider, you got to consider people. You got to consider the implications of your actions. That's what a discerner does. Like I'm not. It's not like I don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really feel this, y'all. Like what my father is doing. I feel this like on an emotional level. Like, but I I'm remaining level headed about this. Because it's like I just recognize the opportunity that we've been given to learn. In the Bible it says, "In all thy getting, get an understanding," and I think that we will all have an understanding of things. Once I kind of like lay it all out there, you know, and now you'll hear his own like, he's speaking for himself. He wrote his own book, right? So I mean, we don't necessarily have to hear from him. I mean, he could say what he's gonna say, but like we don't care. We have your testimony, sir. Like we know where you stand on this because you wrote a book about it. So like I feel like, I had my allegations and I had my stance on things, my viewpoint, my perspective, and that's all y'all had, right? You only had my perspective, but now you have his. And now I have his. You know what I'm saying? Because like the stuff that I read, it wasn't like I don't know, like nothing was like a revelation or anything. Like I just y'all don't even know how to describe this. See, you said like sometimes you don't even have the words. When you dealing with a parent that's just like mentally sick and spiritually sick, you know, and not sick like in you go to the spiritual hospital and you get well. No, like sick like there's nothing we can do with these type of people like that, like reprobate sick. um he's sick, y'all. But like I can't say that. See, if I say that, y'all gonna take it wrong, okay? So like if I say he's sick, then y'all gonna be like, oh, he's sick, like in a like you have to have like empathy, compassion, and like you need to go all out to make sure he can get well, like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel some type of like obligation, like there's something you can do about it. Because like normally when you're sick, I mean there's something that you can do about it. I mean, even if you have to get surgery for it, there's something that you can do typically. But like there are some sicknesses, there's nothing you can do, but it's not like you just it's see, that's why I feel like this type of stuff is so dangerous, right? Because like when you talk about it like on a spiritual side and even on a natural side, you think that there's hope. You know what I'm saying? Like it tricks you into thinking that like there's hope for these people. And I don't think that we need to have that type of attitude towards it. Not that you should just be like, well, there is no hope for them. You know what I mean? Because you still want to, remain I guess positive or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more of like, let's just be realistic about this. Let's just be real about this. We're not seeing the change and it's not going to happen because where would rock bottom have been? Like there are some people that won't change until they hit rock bottom. And it's like there's just no other choice but to change. But like some people hit rock bottom and I don't know, I guess they feel comfortable there, you know? It's like, oh, rock bottom, like that's cool. Like, you know, I think there's people like that. And those are the ones who are like reprobate, you know? They're sick, but it's not like you can do anything about it. There's no like, okay, you go to the spiritual hospital and get well, or or the mental hospital and get well. No, there's there's nothing you can do with them. And the only thing that you can do is just be smarter. You know what I'm saying? Like work on you, control you, put boundaries up to protect you, Like there's nothing you can do with them. And the problem is that people keep thinking they can help. You can't help. And all you're doing is hurting the people who he's already hurt. That's what I'm seeing here. But how else do I explain this, make it plain, show you, you know? Because people don't, unless you know what I'm saying? Like your discernment is on a higher spiritual divine level, then you don't know what you're dealing with a religious narcissist. And now it's like they've taken over the word and like use it to the point where people don't realize how serious it is. And the people who are actually dealing with that, or have come from that, have experienced that, have had their lives changed by that, devastated by that, like they know. They know the real because they were in it, you know? And I don't know, maybe some people who were even in it don't know yet. So how else, y'all, really, like, this is a real question. How else do I talk about this in a way that is not like I'm not griping, like there's a daughter level of this, right? But like, and I guess there's some times where I kind of teeter on like, okay, I'm being kind of a little girl about the situation, But it's like, I think I'm allowed, a couple of graces here and there, But um how else do you explain this demonic force, but in a way that teaches people, that's not just coming out about another narcissist story? Because I mean, we hear these narcissist stories over and over and over again, but we're still none the wiser. So when are we gonna become wise about this? And that's the thing. There is no way. See, all you got to think about is like, we say narcissists, right? Like people say narcissists all the time, but these are deceivers, right? These are manipulators, controllers. These are demonic spirits that are really keeping you from living in your true purpose, right? And fulfilling your true purpose and being all that God called you to be and wants you to be, and everything that you want to be. It's like their whole thing is to steal, kill, and destroy. And people think that that's always on a like taking your life. But like you could be the living dead. You could really be walking around here with no purpose, not knowing why you're doing what you're doing, making bad decisions, getting in bad relationships, can't bad financial choices. I mean, just all the way around, it's like you can't get right. They've stolen, they've stolen from you. Like that's stealing. They've stolen like your purpose, your why. Like, why do you get up every day? Like there's really people who have no reason in that they can think of themselves to even wake up in every day. And that's what the deceiver does. That's what this religious narcissist spirit does. But the way that it infiltrates is that it does it by your own spiritual beliefs, like we're all spiritual beings. So when these types of people or this demonic force, whatever, like attacks, like they're attacking like your soul. They're attacking like your spirit being, that's on a different level. That's not like, you know, and not to diminish any other type of pain, but just to differentiate. There's a difference between physical harm that a person does to you. There's a difference in spiritual harm, and financial harm, and emotional harm. These things have their compartments, and not to compare someone who is spiritually abused from someone who's physically abused, because I think that if you're physically abused, it is all spiritual abuse. Like, it's all spiritual abuse. And when you don't, like, you just think of it like abuse being on a physical level, and even emotional abuse, because people, like, they go to counseling, and they learn to you know um to behave differently, so that at least you can't see the scars. But when you're talking about like spiritual abuse, that's like that's a beast there. A lot of people can't even put their finger on it. Like, they don't even know what it is. Like, they can't even put a name to it. They just know, like something doesn't feel right in their spirit. And that's if they've even have that much discernment to feel it. You know what I'm saying? To really even honor the feeling. Like, there's people who get butterflies in their stomach when they meet a person, thinking that it's some type of love, or this desire, some type of lust for somebody, when it's really your body giving you warning signals. So sometimes you're feeling things that you don't really even know why you're feeling it, like what's really behind that emotion. That's why you can't even give your emotions too much weight. You don't even know why sometimes you're feeling something. I don't know, y'all. I was hoping this almond oil would have like a bit, like a stronger almond flavor, but it really don't smell like anything. It's really odorless. Yeah, it just kind of like smells a little, just like maybe just a tinge virgin olive oilish. So I'll put some in my hair too. Um, because I told you I wanna help it with it shine and sheen. Okay. But there's something like just so unexplainable, okay? Inexplicable. That's the right word. Okay? Inexplicable about a religious narcissist and spiritual abuse, you know? And I think a lot of y'all are being spiritually abused and you don't even know it. Like, that's crazy. And like, some of y'all are being spiritually abused and you justifying it, you know? It's like, because you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. And sometimes when you get that feeling, where it's like something don't feel right. This don't, it's just like something ain't quite adding up here. You feel it spiritually. Like you dismiss it. And then you're more judgmental and harsh towards yourself because you had the thought. You had the feeling and then you dismissed it thinking maybe I'm sinful, you know, maybe I'm not a good wife, or I'm not a good daughter, or I'm not a good friend, because you're identifying these things and then you just dismiss it. And that's how like these people are, or this demonic force. 'Cause, I mean, let's really keep it real. It's a like demon in them. And I bet like okay, please, people, if you have been in contact with a religious narcissist, is it true or is it false that they are demons? Okay? Like, when you when you get in contact with them, like, that's the only way you can really explain. It's like they are demons. Like, it's crazy. And that's the only way you can kind of like describe it. That's the only thing that actually puts words to it. Because even if you try to explain things, like you don't even know the half of it. It's like you don't even know everything that they have done and everything that they're capable of. So to even try to describe it, it's like you really can't. Like, you just can't. It's just, you just know. y'all, that is it's a different it's a beast. It is definitely a beast. And so I guess, what I'm trying to say is more my mission is more of um well, I got a lot of missions. I got a lot of missions. I got a lot of mission statements. I sure do. I got a lot of mission statements. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish by doing this, Have y'all ever heard of, or let me ask it this way, because you probably never heard of it. But do you think that, is it possible that there is a such thing as spiritual crimes? Spiritual crimes, right? Think about it. Spiritual crimes. These are crimes that you wouldn't necessarily say, even like regular courts wouldn't hear this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you would really have to explain it. You'd have to explain the gaslighting. You'd have to explain the love bombing. You'd have to explain how how sometimes things are good, but even those good times have an ulterior motive in them. You'd have to explain all this, you know? Not anything that you could possibly do in any type of like secular court, like in a court system that's just like where you like pressing charges against somebody, right? Like somebody stole from you, somebody's harassing you, all those things, right? But there are things in the Bible that have been done to people, right? That I'm saying just for like a reference, like a scripture reference, right? There's been things that have been done to people that were spiritually wrong, and like they were highlighted, like Jesus highlighted a lot of spiritual things that were going on. Who Apostle Paul, right? Highlighting a lot of things that were going wrong, and it's mostly in the church and among believers, right? But not necessarily anything that they would have went to a regular court for, because it was a spiritual crime. But a crime though, you know? So when I say I'm pressing charges, like I'm pressing charges for spiritual crimes. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, why do we not have a way where people can be heard? I mean, I have been transparent with you guys. You know, you see what has happened. You've seen the feedback that I have gotten from my very own family, you know, when I started speaking out. But so, but everybody's not like that, right? Like not everybody that's listening to me like right now is like that. Y'all, not all of y'all have that same belief. Some of y'all will hear me out, Some of y'all have discernment, and well, everybody has discernment, but they not activated it. They ain't activated it, okay? But some people, their discernment is like, okay, I can listen to this story. You know, I can offer guidance, I can offer advice, I can offer experience, wisdom, and I can also be discerning to know if all I really need to do is just listen. And so I'm thinking, y'all, that there has to be a way that people like me can be heard, and um and also, I guess, get the benefit of the community, of wisdom, of guidance, of encouragement. Um, like all of that could possibly come from um a group of people who were actually good with you just stating what happened to you, you know? Cause see, like when you start speaking out, the people like the naysayers or the people who are like saying bad stuff to you or judging you or whatever, it's like those are the people that end up sticking out or like just being in the forefront of your mind. And you don't even think about all the support you have, like all of the people that are standing by you. You don't even think about it. You just and sometimes you don't even see like the positive comments. You only see the negative ones. But what if there was like this space where we were just like, no, like there are spiritual crimes and we feel like we can hear this. Like we can listen to this and even if we needed to make a decision about something, like what was in our best interest or in the best interest of our community, then we could come together and do that. So this idea came to me years ago, right? And it wasn't time, like the time wasn't right. Too soon. Um, you know, everything was just too raw. Still people were in danger still. Um, you know, it was a lot of bad communication still going on. I mean, it was just like a lot of stuff. So it's just like it just wasn't the time. But God planted the seed though, like it was there. It was like, and maybe it was kind of like God giving me like a kind of foreshadowing or something, like this is what's to come. So, you know, or maybe just the thought of it made me feel a bit better in my in my speaking out. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe or I don't really know why God did it. But he gave me this idea about spiritual crimes, like, I don't know, probably about 3 years ago when book one came out, probably. And I wish I had documented the exact date. I wonder if I did. I wonder if I got it like in a notebook somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, so God gave me this idea. And and the idea was called Kingdom Court, right? Because like I kept thinking about what do people want? Like, if somebody asks me, okay, well, what do you want? You're telling your story. Okay, what do you want us to do about it? What do you want? Or why are you doing it? Because everybody wants to know if you have some type of end goal. You know, like they only do that to people who've been victimized, by the way. But but so I thought about it. And it's really not that it's a bad question. It's just that a lot of times people ask it at the wrong time and in the wrong way, without regard for um, a person's healing journey, for when they're ready. Um, or maybe sometimes people just don't. Maybe sometimes people just really don't have a specific end game. They just want to expose you know? And I guess that's a specific end game, right? But whenever I thought about me and other people who were hurt by these demonic um, forces that were working through people. Um, Everybody was kind of like they want redemption, vindication, justice, and that was the three words that kept coming to my mind: redemption, vindication, and justice. And I was like, yeah, like I want all three myself, and that's what it seemed like most people want. Like they want to be um I don't know. I guess I don't really need to get into the whole redemption, vindication, and justice thing right now. But it seemed like either people, let's do it. People wanted to be vindicated, as in they wanted their story heard and to know like that they were right, and like for them to be confirmed, that they felt what they felt, and that they were validated. Like they want to feel that they want to know that, not feel that, they want to know it, that I've been vindicated. um these types of people, these religious narcissists, they spread a lot of lies, they spread a lot of discord among people, you know. And that the Bible specifically says something about that, sowing discord among the brethren and stuff like that. Like that's really bad. Um, but that's what they do. And sometimes it's like you've just been trying to I don't know, like they've lied on you, and sometimes you don't even know that it's been this big lie that's been going on, like you just kind of oblivious to it and kind of wondering why it's so much confusion and chaos, but it's because they've like sown discord, and sometimes it's like you just want to be vindicated and and your side of the story heard, um and then sometimes people want justice, right? They want action. They want something to be done. They want like some type of punishment, maybe, or maybe um they just want that exposure, and that would be the justice, like um that would fulfill that desire, for justice, is like just knowing that this person has been exposed, or this issue has been exposed, or whatever. And then people want redemption, right? Like they want to go back to a space where things were good, before these demonic forces came in and caused so much confusion and chaos, there's there's like a lot of definitions, I guess, you know to these words, a lot of ways that you can look at it, and a lot of ways that it could be fulfilled for someone who has been hurt this way, um so it's going to look different for different people. But what about this, y'all? What about when people have done wrong? Like, let's say they did do wrong, right? Now, we got this whole like cancel culture thing going on, and it's like we cancel people and they never have a way to be redeemed or redeem themselves, or get back in good graces. Like, let's say they do the work, to fix the issue. Then it's like, what is the path forward for those people, so like when you think about kingdom court, when I thought about it, I just thought like it's good for everybody, you know it's not like it's it's something that you just using like to punish people or to expose people or anything like that. But like, think about the benefits of um people just being heard, maybe something happened and it really was a perspective thing, maybe it really wasn't what you thought it was. Maybe hearing, just saying it, and having a community of discerning, okay, because they have to be discerning. Don't just You can't just, you can't get this from just any group of people, like you have to be very discriminatory in this. They must have discernment, you know that's the requirement. That's the only requirement. You must have discernment. So what if something happened and I took it wrong? You know, I'd want to know that too. I wouldn't want someone else's life to be ruined or impacted so negatively if I was wrong and all I needed was to express it and have a group of discerning individuals offer their guidance, perspective, wisdom, knowledge, not just their opinion, you know? No, like, this is what I think about this, and or have you considered this, or what do you think about this? You know, just like, are y'all seeing what I'm saying? I'm just saying right now, right now there's no way for anyone in the system that we have it set up right now. It's just no way for people to really be heard, for healing to truly happen, right? I mean, because I think about this. Some of my cousins who had a lot to say about what I was doing in a negative way, they're pastors. You know what I mean? And so I think about, like, well, what about the women in your congregation? If you're handling me, your own family member, this way, how are you dealing with the women in your church? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? So so could it possibly be, right, that I share this information, and not only am I sharing information, but I have I have the education and the knowledge to back it up, you know? So I'm not coming out just with grievances and just expecting to for people to take on the burdens I want to release, No, it's not like that. It's what if what if everybody, even the person who has done wrong, can be enriched and bettered because we actually do hold each other accountable, you know? And we do it in love still, so that, like, because we don't want to just, like, hurt people, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't just want people to, like, I don't even want my own father to be hurt. You know what I mean? He hurt me, sure, but, like, I mean, I don't wish no harm on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be sad when he passes away, I don't think. you know? I don't think I'm gonna be sad about that. You know? I think that when the day comes that he passes, I think I will feel a great release or relief. That's what I think. But, I don't know, but I still don't wish no harm on him. I really just wish he'd change. I really wish that he would just give his heart to God. Because it's like you've been preaching this for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? You've been preaching this gospel for 40 years. So why isn't it taking effect in your life? That's what I need to know. You know? I need answers. Like, why isn't it taking effect? And I don't think he ever really meant to live a truly changed life. I think that my father was escaping um, the consequences of his actions and behavior. That's what I think. And sometimes I feel like he made a deal with the devil. And I see, this is another thing I don't think people really realize, right? That, like, people can make a deal with the devil and they're pastors. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even though they're set up in a church or something, or like, like the false prophets and stuff. Like, it's like that's where their mission is. Their mission is to go and, like, be disruptive and, like, hurt people in the church. It's like that's their duty station. Does that make sense? It's like that's their duty station, like that's their job. And so their whole goal is to like cause chaos in, like, churches and stuff. So like it's really serious. And I think it seems like he made a deal with the devil, like he wanted to, like, I think he was just like, I'm gonna do it God's way, right? But not really. Like, I think that it was like he probably thought, maybe, I don't know, maybe he thought he was making a deal with God. But I don't think you make deals with God. You know what I'm saying? You don't just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be a pastor, but you gotta make me rich. You know what I mean? Because that's his thing. That's the obsession. He wants to be rich and he wants to be um in control, powerful. Um, so I think that, like, when he talks about like when he got saved, right? And he said he was out, he had been smoking crack out in the streets. He said it was pouring down rain, and he was soaked, and he was on a bike. Even though I think he had like two cars, but they was um like I think they was on bricks or something like that, you know. And he was strung out, and so he was like on a bike, and he said he like yelled out to God or screamed out to God or whatever, or cried out to God, whatever, that to like to save him, you know. He was like, save me like you saved my mother. And then he said he started speaking in tongues. And he came home where my mom was, and he was speaking in tongues. And then my mom called my grandma, and she's speaking in tongues. And then my grandma called my aunt. And then, you know what I'm saying? It was like a whole, like, it was like a whole grapevine thing going on, like the phone line, you know, like they was all, um, you know, on the phone, and, and speaking in tongues, you know, and happy that my father, you know, made that change. And I guess it was great, you know, but was it? I mean, really, was it? Like, was it that great? Because now it's like, because he's a pastor now, so you think that that moment was his transformation moment, like for the better? What if it wasn't? What if it was his transformation moment for the worse? What if that was at that moment that he made a deal with the devil? I don't think he wanted to continue living a life on drugs, right? I think he wanted the opulence, he wanted the accolades, he wanted the access that pastoring provided, you know, that like being in church and stuff like that provided. Because I mean, not pastoring necessarily, I don't think he probably thought about it at that time, but probably like being in the church and stuff like that. Because like at that point, like a lot of his family was, you know, coming around that way. And then all of a sudden it just became like a family thing, you know, like then it's like all the family is, you know, having churches and stuff like that, you know. And I think there was no other way for him to compete in his family, but he had to compete, you know? Like a lot of us don't feel like we got to compete with anybody in our family. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, or at least not a negative type compete that you know, that is like really jealousy and just trying to outshine somebody, you know, just for the sake of outshining them. But but no, like there's like this competitive, like jealous spirit that I think that he's like, I'm gonna do this too, just like the rest of my family's doing it, but you know, I want to do it better. You know, I want to have a bigger church. You know, I want to be more flashy and have a bigger house and more cars and, you know, and stuff like that. And like comparison spirit and that jealous spirit, like that child, that have you doing some real crazy stuff. Real crazy stuff. And so like maybe that's what it was, you know? Like I think about this type of stuff, like, was that encounter like really the, you know, big G, you know, or was that some type of little G? Okay, was that some type of little G, you know, like taking over him, like he sold his soul. Like everybody talks about like their got saved moment. You know, most people remember it when they got saved, when they started speaking in tongues, or like, you know, their first time, you know, being baptized, stuff like that, you know. Um, but but the way he talks about this story, and me hearing it so many times over the years makes me think, where I started to think, what if that was not a divine encounter? Like, what if that was not actually God, that he was, that he was asking to save him? Do y'all believe that people, like, I know some people say, well, you can't sell your soul because it belongs to God, right? Okay, like whatever term that they use, I do think that people make deals, and maybe it's not a sell your soul thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just a deal, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The point is I think that some people make deals because of their own like greed and, you know, comparison, jealousy, all of that stuff. So I wonder if that was really a come to Jesus moment, or if that was something else. Just listen to it next time he talk about it, The next time he talk about when he got saved, it was in the book. It was like slightly different from the way he tells it, when he was preaching, but still basically the same story. But when you listen to him talk about it, now listen to it with that thought, like, was this really a demonic encounter and not a divine encounter? Like that day on that bike. And even though he stopped doing drugs, because he did, right? That was the last noted time that my father did drugs. But what if that was the thing? Like, okay, well, like the drugs got to stop, but like it turns into a different drug, like a more acceptable or more easily hidden drug, like, I don't know. Like, I think, sometimes people use, like relations, they use that as a drug, it becomes an addiction. There's a lot of addictions out there. And so maybe his addiction went from actual, the crack to something else, but maybe something that he hid from a lot of people because it was easier to hide than being a drug addict. What y'all think? Does that sound crazy? Like, child, I don't know. Like, to me, none of this stuff sounds crazy because you just don't really know, and you have to consider that there are major spiritual implications of what he's doing and what he has done. Like, I have no doubts that my father has killed people. Like, seriously. Why is his book called The Hitman and the Preacher? Is he saying that he was a hitman, y'all? I mean, I'm just saying, where the FBI at when you you know what I'm saying? Where the FBI at when you need them? You know what I'm saying? Like, get on your job, FBI. Because, I mean, what is he really saying? Is my father like confessing to, I mean, we read the book and it didn't really seem like it was a whole lot of confessing going on in that book, child. Okay. It wasn't a whole lot of confessing. But was that, like, is the title of the book some type of confession? Think about it. I wasn't convinced that when y'all heard the book, were y'all convinced that there was an actual hitman? Was anybody convinced? Except when he was like, when he said my mother was like, Harold. What did she say? They found us. What did he say? Oh my God, what did he say she said? Anyway, that joke was so lame. I was like, she did not say no joke like that. Harold, they found us, or they're still after us, or something he said, she said. I'm like, dude, no. But were y'all convinced that there was an actual hitman? Was anybody convinced? We're gonna break it down, child. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down. But was anybody convinced that there was actual hitman? I wasn't. And I read it. I read it. I read the book. Okay. He did not convince me at all. He did not convince me at all that there was a hitman. And then he was like, then y'all remember when he was like, there was two men coming up in like trench coats or whatever. Trench coats. That's like so stereotypical hitman, ain't it? Anyway, so he said that it was two men coming up in trench coats, but the project security stopped them, and then they ran on, right? So not even the apartment security, the project's security guards was able to stop them and figure out what they were doing, and if they actually had a hit on him or if they had weapons. I mean, it could have been Jehovah's Witness, y'all, coming to that door. It could have been. And this man talking about this two hitmen. And then he said that the way they were dressed didn't add up to the weather. And so that's why they were suspicious. Child, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all that there was ever and then that's the other thing. He said it was two people coming after him. So is that two hitmen or is that one hitman? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying nothing that man's selling, y'all. Not nothing. Because it's all lies. So shouldn't it be the hitmen and the preacher? I mean, if he telling the truth about people being after him, because he said it was two in trench coats in the heat. They had on those trench coats in the heat, child. He said two people in trench coats in the summertime was coming after him, child, and the project security stopped them. So I mean, not stopped them, but made them run, right? So they ran. Never saying that the apartment security stopped them or anything. So nobody knows if they truly were hitmen and if they truly were even after him. Nobody knows, or if they even had any type of weapons or anything on them. See, I'm telling y'all, these are the types of questions that these deceivers don't want us asking questions. That's why they get mad at you when you ask questions. As soon as you start asking questions, now the Bible says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. How do you get an understanding if you don't ask questions? So when you ask questions, why are these folks about to kill you for asking questions? Because they don't want, they're against what God wants for you. I'm telling y'all. Child. So, and then y'all remember when when I put that video out when we was looking for the man with the foot. You remember? The man with the miracle leg? Remember he said y'all remember he said that the guy was like his leg was like yellow and green and everything, and they was about to cut it off. He said the guy was in the hospital. They had already marked his leg up to get amputated, right? And he came and put his hands on the man's leg, and he could see the color coming back in his skin, and it like he was being healed, like as my father was praying for him. And then he said there was no need for the surgery or whatever. But like, where is this guy? Where is this guy? If somebody put their hands on me and I'm about to get my leg cut off and they keep me from having to get my leg cut off, and you don't think I'm gonna be around that person for the rest of my life? Child, please, you ain't gonna be able to get rid of me. Because anytime I get a headache, child, anytime I get a hangnail, I'm gonna need you to Just lay your hands on me, okay? Cause I mean, why not? Okay, if you got that capability, then ain't no need for me to be going through any ailments, okay? But y'all, this man don't exist. This man never came and said, Pastor Laster put his hands on my leg, and my leg, it was about to get cut off. It was infected, it was gangrene, and and all the things. It like, y'all, where this man at? Where that man at? Where that man at? I know he got his boots on the ground somewhere because listen, if my father prayed for him and he didn't have to get his leg cut off, you better have on some boots stomping somewhere. Okay? Where you at, sir? Where you at, sir? We're gonna put out an APB, okay? All points bulletin for the man with the miracle leg. How am I the one who's wrong for maybe just asking that there be a little evidence of these miracles you say you did? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, what the evidence? Because we ain't even we haven't even seen anybody come in this church and testify that you did that. And why wouldn't they? I mean, if you healed him, okay, then and he didn't need a doctor to cut his leg off, and he didn't come in here and tear this church down trying to tell us about how you healed him. Okay. Ooh, child. I mean, do y'all see what I'm saying? Do y'all see what I'm saying? All I'm saying is there is a deliberate, there's a deliberate attack on discernment. Like, they're literally trying to deceive you. That's weird. But you wouldn't think it would come from your own parent, That's the crazy part. You just wouldn't think it would come from your own parent, but why wouldn't it? Deceit comes through people, manipulation, control, that stuff comes through people. Those people are somebody else's parent or child or cousin or, people are people and people do things. And sometimes you were brought into this world through people who are not good people. But what do you do? I mean, are you bound to some type of loyalty to them even though you see them harming people and they harmed you? Like, do you have some type of obligation to maintain some type of secrecy for them? I mean, is that what that means? I'm confused. Because that's what toxic parents think that means. That's what they think it means. They think it means that as soon as you say something to them, about their behavior, then they're bringing up what they did for you growing up or what you did wrong growing up or how you didn't make a good decision in this situation or, or how you didn't choose a good friend that time or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just start throwing up stuff. Just throwing up stuff. Of course, you thinking to yourself, like, why not just take accountability, But then they stick to this story that you've made it all up somehow, like your memories are somehow all jacked up. It's possible to have a bad parent, like an evil parent, and you're a good person, and you have a kind heart, and you're just not like that, and you're not okay with seeing your parent treat people like that. Like, if my father just did that to me, just did that to me growing up, then I could just cut him off and then be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be no thing. And I think that's probably what a lot of y'all are thinking, like, she could just let it go. But I can't, because he's a pastor. I feel an obligation, okay? Like, I feel obligated to everybody else's daughter because it's mostly women who are going to these churches. Even now, he has mostly women in there. And he's probably tricking them. They probably like, doing all kind of stuff for him. He's probably using them, probably damn near pimping them out. That's why I told y'all better check on y'all family members. Check on y'all family members. Keep them prayed up, y'all, because it's a lot of these false prophets out here, and they're just really leading people astray. And I don't think that everybody like knows. Everybody in his congregation is well. I'm sure that there's people he doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't hurt everybody, and that's the thing too. That's hard for people to wrap their minds around, because how can you really reconcile that in your mind, that this person has done such hurtful and harmful things to people but was so nice to you, where you never saw that part of them, and it's just hard for you to fathom that they're like that. But like, an abuser, they choose their victims wisely. They really do. um I guess feel grateful that you weren't chosen for abuse, but also recognize that they choose people to abuse and you just wasn't one of them, thank God. But pray for your fellow daughter. Pray for other daughters, the ones that they saw these weaknesses in them, like daddy issues and abandonment and all that stuff. Like they prey on people like that. And think about it. A pastor would know that about all his members. He would know all of the struggles nearly that they've been through because they tell him. But when you have someone who's a manipulator, who's just taking all that information in so he can use it to his benefit to exploit you, it's like, I'm not okay with that. And if my father had just shut down the church and just retired, then I would leave him alone. No, I'm not gonna leave him alone now. It's too late. Okay, the statute of limitations is over for that, child. It's over. Nah, he gonna get this. He gonna get this boot on his neck. Okay, and I ain't lifting it up. But like, seriously, if he had just shut it down, then I don't know. Maybe I just would have wrote one book. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know if I would have created a whole series. Mm. I think that, I definitely think, things would have been different, for him. But he didn't shut it down. He didn't even take any time off, y'all. Like, he never even took time off to, do any type of corrective work to heal, whatever, to start the healing journey, to, anything. Like, he didn't do it. He just continued preaching. And all his members were leaving, and I'm the one who's talking about, like, you abuse your members. And so I'm calling him out. And he don't even feel no type of like need to at least sit down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least for a minute. Nothing. And when he was still in ministry, when I was still there, I asked him about retiring. I was like, so so what do you think about retiring? He got mad at me, y'all. How you gonna get mad at me for asking you, like, when you gonna retire? He been preaching for 40 years. What, probably at that time it was maybe like 30s. It was over 30 years probably when I asked him that. He got mad at me, y'all. What you get like? What you get mad for? I was like, it was just a question. I'm just asking questions. People be getting mad at me asking questions, John. They be like, stop asking questions. I can't. I can't. I got questions. I got questions, y'all. And I ain't gonna stop asking them. Okay. Yep, I'm one of them daughters. I got questions. No, but like, why? Why, Jesus? I'm just putting some more almond oil on my hair. I wonder how it's gonna. I wonder how it's gonna do because it's my first time using almond oil on it. But it's good. It says it's good for skincare, hair care, and aromatherapy. Okay. Plus, like, they say like almond oil is a good carrier oil, which means that like it's really good when you mix it with other stuff. Like you can mix it with your perfume, or you can mix it with your your serums and all that stuff. That's what they say, child. That's what they say, honey. But go look it up, child. Don't take my word for it, child. Okay. But I'm just using it in my hair. I haven't even added any, like other oils or anything to it. Which I don't know if I will. I might. But I kind of just want to see how this oil will do um without mixing it yet. So I'm just putting this oil on and some mousse. And I'm gonna do a braid out style. I started doing this braid out style, y'all, with like braiding it and rolling it. And I like it. I like it a lot. And it gives my hair a lot of body too. Like it's already pretty thick, but it gives it a lot of like body and like definition. And I like that. Um, but what was I saying, y'all? What was I saying, y'all? He never took any time off, ever. Never took any time off. But I feel like you know, if he had just shut it down, because he could have, like, really ask yourself, why is he still preaching? You know, it's like he don't have nothing else. He don't have nothing else. Like he don't have nothing else. So it's like, well, what else would I do? But that's not like it's not true. I mean, he does other stuff. Like he's like he had like some real estate. He like he has cars and he was doing stuff with cars and selling cars and going to auctions and doing that stuff. Like it's not like, he has nothing to do. I just wonder, like, why is he doing this? And it can't be making him like any real money. So I guess like the average person would think that he's just making a sacrifice, that he does it because he really loves people and wants souls saved. But that's not the truth. It's definitely a self-serving reason why he's doing this. It's like just retire already. You know what I'm saying? Just retire. Like I'm sure God is gonna be like, I think he'll be okay that you did it for 40 years and then was ready to, you know what I'm saying, then just retire. Like you don't think God would be okay with that? Or you think God would be like, no, you must preach until you die? Like, no, you don't have to. Or you can continue. I mean, you could preach like every once in a while. But we wasn't trying to hear him preach. Like he only talked about himself. It wasn't like no actual I'm gonna take that back. As it does seem like sometimes he really did have some good messages when whenever he stayed on topic. But that was his thing. He never would stay on topic. He always would like venture off into his own thing. And his sermons always turned into like more self-promotion and kind of like talking about himself, talking about his power and the souls he saved and stopping the rain from falling and you know what I'm saying, and then making the rain start back falling. You know what I'm saying? I look, if you go back in like probably last 5 sermons, he's told that story again. Like he was tell us that all the time. And he talk about how he casted out demons and stuff like that. But y'all, there were times that like I knew we had people in the church who was demon possessed because like you could tell. And my father did nothing. He stood back. He wouldn't even go anywhere near the people. That's what I always saw. He be lying. It's like, oh, like I can't stand it. Because people really be going there thinking that they're gonna like really get something, like God is there, the Holy Spirit is there, and like I don't know what spirit. It's a spirit in there for sure. Okay, it's a spirit in there, but you know is that the spirit we want? But that's him. But I think I would not, especially not still be this vocal. Like I probably would have said what I wanted to say, about him and about childhood, spreading those, like talking about that experience, um, and all that. I probably would have still wrote about that. But I wouldn't still be talking about it if he wasn't still behind that pulpit. Okay. And I'm hearing women in the background, Amen, Pastor. Amen. And I'm hearing all of that. And I'm just like, what are you amening for? Like, what did he just say that was amen worthy? You know? And it's just like they're just so deceived. Like just so blind. Ugh. And it just breaks my heart because just because people don't know that they're being deceived does not mean it's okay. You know, there's some people who are just not smart enough. And even when they activate their discernment, like their comprehension and stuff, like there's going to be factors about them that, will be a hindrance to them, fully discerning, as people have different abilities and disabilities, and those things do factor into their ability to make a decision. Um, and I know that he specifically chooses people like that. He chooses people who are on drugs. Now this is somebody who is free from drugs, so yeah, that's how it typically happens. Someone who has gotten clean tends to help people who are trying to get clean. But I think that he targets these people instead of, it's just that he is just trying to help them get clean. There was really nothing that my father ever did that was helping people get clean. Nothing. The only thing he did was told people about the story about how he got clean on that bike. And that wasn't even his first attempt trying to get clean. Like he had many failed attempts trying to get clean. So he's lying to people because he's not giving them the real. He's making people think that if they are not able to call out to God in the rain and be like free from drugs like that and clean and out of their system. He never even talked about going through any withdrawals, any of those things. It was like all of a sudden he said, God, why don't you heal me like you heal my mother? And then he's saved and he's like speaking in tongues. And I guess he's sober now and like instantly sober. I don't know. Like, is he still under the influence of the crack that he had just smoked? Or like, was that somehow removed from his system? You know what I'm saying? But he don't tell people the real, because if he told people the real, he would say, I failed a lot of times trying to get clean, and then, go on with his story. But I'm telling you, it was a demonic encounter because like, what? And then why are you just telling people about this, like this one, what you would call your success story, as if that was all it took? You know what I mean? That like, you were, what I'm saying, you made the decision that you was going to get clean and that just was it. Because it's disingenuous. Y'all ever took any courses by somebody and they was like promising to teach you how they did it, their method or whatever, and you realize that they were teaching you a method that they didn't do, that they did something else, or that they did other things in addition to the stuff that they are saying that they're teaching you, but not telling you that additional stuff? or even making you pay more to get the real information, like they're teasing, like they're deceiving you. It's a deception tactic. That's what he's doing. He's deceiving people and making them think that their journey to getting clean and their struggle with drugs should be like his. And if it's not like his, then they are somehow deficient or somehow inferior to him, because he's a pastor, because God called him when he was a little boy to be a pastor. So his plight in life is different because he's great. Okay. Because he's a pastor and you're not. God called him, not you. Now, how does he know who else God called? And God just stop calling other people? But that's how his approach was. Or that was his approach. And y'all think I never said anything to him? Child, if I'm this vocal now, don't you think I was like vocal then? Yeah, even though it cost me, you know? Like it costs to be this vocal to him. That was when he first slammed my leg in the door, y'all. It was because I was being vocal. And little girls ought to be seen, not heard, child, I guess. But I had that innocence of a child. I didn't know that, like, just speaking the truth, or what appeared to be common sense, you know that adults wasn't getting, that I was getting as a child, but adults weren't getting it. And that rubs people the wrong way. It rubs him the wrong way. So it's always been my mouth. Always been my mouth that got me in trouble. Um, but I've always just been a truth teller, y'all. It was like, to me, it was just so innocent. I couldn't really like understand what I was doing wrong, because it's just like, I'm just telling the truth. What's so bad about that? You know? And then, I think at some point, after getting in trouble so much for it, my mother began to like um develop in her parenting, and in realizing, so that she could just teach me how to be more tactful, you know and more thoughtful in my delivery. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, when you have an honest child, do you stop them from being honest, or do you just educate them on like when and how? Because like, it's just like, sometimes it's just not the right time. Some people, it's just not the right people. you know and so you start to teach them the discernment then. But I didn't get that. I didn't get that initially. I got a lot of chastisement for it, and I knew my father hated me for it. Or I just knew he hated me. I didn't know why, but it was just, I just always knew it was something. But like, as I got older, I realized, like, yeah, girl, it's because you got discernment, but you don't have no tech. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to have both. Like, think about it. Think about your honest friend. And you just, it's your honest friend. They just like, well, I'm just honest. I'm just honest. But it's like, but you don't have no tact though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be honest, but you can also be tactful in how you say it, and your delivery and your timing and who you say it for, all the things. You could be more discerning in that. But see, people just think, okay, well, just because I'm honest means that like I don't need to have tech with it, because honesty should just come out however it come out. But no, it shouldn't. Not like that. Now that ain't right. But those were lessons that I should have gotten, and those are lessons that I ended up learning the hard way for the most part. You know. But I mean, like, I can understand, to an extent, that parents being parents, like, never know what gifts and abilities your children are going to come out with, type of skills that they just are naturally keen to. And then you try to figure out, like, how can I nurture this in them, and maybe they're naturally talented in some stuff that you don't necessarily believe in, like sports or something, you know what I'm saying? But they just have a natural ability to it, and you just like, well, how do I nurture this in them? And you know, but a lot of parents, well, like some parents don't think about that. Some parents, when they see those natural abilities and skills and gifts in their children, they become jealous, and they try to like extinguish those things. They try to kill their child's talent, their enthusiasm for doing it, their zeal and eagerness to learn it, and stuff like that. Like they'll just kill it. um and I think sometimes they do it unintentionally, but that doesn't mean that the damage isn't done. I did it myself with my own son, and with I'm sure with both of them. But one instance I remember specifically, and I regret it to this day. And like probably maybe like 6 months ago now, I told my son about that experience, and I apologized, and I said I knew in that moment that I killed your joy. Like I killed his enthusiasm about something, an idea he had, a problem solving idea that my son had, and when he was just, I mean, he was a kid, and it was like, how are you even thinking about this? And I totally killed his whole vibe, y'all. Like, oh my God, I regret that so much. And like, y'all, he has never been the same as far as like his enthusiasm about ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like he is, but I could tell like that moment affected him. I could tell at that moment, I was like, oh my God, I messed up. And I didn't even have the like wherewithal to like fix it in that moment. I didn't even know how to fix it, you know? And I think I probably justified it. Um, but I knew I had messed up. I knew I had messed up, y'all. I mean, there's been like, activities and stuff that I've participated in, and my father would make fun of me, and I wouldn't do it again. One specific thing was track and field. I tried out, and at our first track meet, I did terrible. Um, and my father laughed at me, and I never went back. And I just never, like, I guess over the years I just told myself that I don't like to run and stuff like that. And then when I went into the military, I started enjoying it. I was like, I kind of like this. I was like, dang, I really wish I had, stuck to it in school. I guess I was in high school at the time. I wish I had stuck to it, because like this was cool. I don't know, maybe I wasn't a hurdle jumper, because that's what I messed up in, and I was short, so I don't know why they had me jumping hurdles, child. But you know, I could have just tried other events. But because he made fun of me, it just killed it for me. It was like, why would I keep trying? But and I did that to my kids too. That's why it's so important for you to heal from your childhood trauma. You just think just because you grown and like you got your own kids, you probably got grandkids, and you probably even accomplished a lot of stuff in life, and you feel like, well, I'm, there's no justification for me to, bring this up and heal this part of me, or this thing that happened to me. And so like you just let it go, but you don't even realize that you are actually like repeating the pattern, or that it's manifesting in other ways, or it's just like you don't just grow out of your trauma. You just keep growing. Like you just keep growing up. Like you just gain responsibilities. You got bills, you got stuff. You can't just keep thinking about your childhood trauma. I mean, you see people like that, and they haven't been, like, they're not able to progress in life. So you look at it and you're like, well, I got to keep progressing in life. I don't have time to think about, my childhood trauma. But as soon as you get a chance to, like, you owe it to you. You owe it to the people that you love, because they're the ones who are going to be hurt by your unresolved and unhealed trauma. Everybody you actually love. So when I started this journey, I was like, I felt confident, like I'm addressing the issue with the person I have the issue with. A lot of people don't do that. Their kids suffer, their spouse suffers, their co-workers suffer, their friendships suffer, everything else suffers because you don't think you don't even think you're supposed to heal from that, you know? You just think, well, I guess I just keep on going. And yeah, keep on going, but as soon as you can, as often as you can, like do some internal checks. You know what I'm saying? Like see where there can, there can be some healing and growth taking place. You can let it go and forgive. It doesn't mean that you don't still need to work through the process, you know? That doesn't mean that, you don't need to take the journey to healing, or the journey of healing. Like you still do. And then, you fix things along the way, Like you know, fixing things with my sons, acknowledging where I messed up, taking accountability for my mess ups, making them right, I mean, not that you can make it right, but you know, there is a maybe a reconciliation, maybe, or maybe a um you know something. It's something, whatever the word is, whatever the thing is. Maybe it's what I was saying to begin with, the redemption, vindication, and justice. And then, and when you can do it yourself, right? When you have the awareness and the desire to, heal and to mend those relationships and really work towards like cultivating healthy relationships moving forward. What was I about to say? I forgot what I was about to say. Anyways, I'm almost done with this. I'm almost done. Been taking my time. I don't want to do too many in each curl on this one. Well, let me do it this way. I just want it to sit right. You know what I'm saying? Do I have to go anywhere tomorrow, y'all? I do. Oh God, I do. I gotta leave the house tomorrow. Oh, what if I don't want to leave the house? What was I saying, y'all, before I lost my train of thought? What was I saying? Y'all ever do that? Y'all ever just be like mid sentence and then your brain just go blank? Okay, child, mid sentence, and it's like the memory just wiped. You know what I'm saying? Like I just shut the computer down, child. Completely lost my whole train of thought. Oh, the redemption, vindication, and justice. That's what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So when you can handle it yourself, when you have that awareness, and you work towards healing that stuff yourself, then there's no need for kingdom court, right? Because you have already done this, like just like the Bible says, you've done those steps where you, if you have a ought with your brother, you have a little situation going on, you know, and somebody brings it to you, or you bring it to somebody, the person, right? And y'all work that thing out, then that's great. Like that's okay. We did it. High five. You know what I'm saying? We did that. And some people are able to uh, they're able to work those relationships out and able to work through their healing. And that comes with holding the person responsible who did the harm. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Now, granted, I know my cousins was mad at me because, I brought their family members into it. But Well, that's how they perceive it, but I didn't bring them into it, you know? Like I can't help the connection that the Haddons have to my father. You know what I'm saying? And my whole childhood. Like that I didn't do it. You know, I never blamed them for trying to kill my father, you know? He did. He did that, you know? But I don't think that they can like I like obviously maybe they can't like maybe talk to him like they talk to me, and maybe it's just easy for them to like try to shut me up about it. I don't know. I don't really know what the case is, you know. Sometimes I just, you know, well, I guess like here recently I've just um in some of them's cases, not every one of them, but in some of their cases I think that they just don't know, you know. Like they just don't know who they're dealing with. And a lot of people just don't know who they're dealing with this with these religious narcissists, y'all. Like no clue. And you have no idea how widespread it is. I mean, y'all got to think about um these people are on social media. They've already moved out of the confines of the church, y'all. You know, there was in a church, there's only room for one or two, you know, maybe just a handful of these types of people, you know, these demonic spirits. They start butting heads. And even if they're on the same mission, I think they'll start butting heads, you know. Um, I think they start butting heads eventually. So think about if there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of them. If they're not all in the church, where are they? Where are they able to still deceive people, get money and resources from people, have access to people, unlimited access, by the way? They even have an ability to create a cult like following, all on social media. Y'all, like all, all on social media. That's where these religious narcissists are really, or these demons, child. That's where they are. They'll call themselves gurus, life coaches, pastors, ministers, prophets, apostles, bishops, um, what else? Doctors. They'll even call themselves doctors. These aren't medical doctors I'm talking about. These are other doctors. These are the ones I'm talking about, right? Yes, there are um these religious narcissists in other fields, right? Let's say they're in a counseling industry. Um, they're in medical, they're in finance, they're in government, they're in everything, everywhere. But a lot of these entities that they're a part of have they have some type of accountability system, right? They have some type of law, some type of ethics, some type of code, you know. Like even think about HIPAA, right? That's a code. Whereas like if you have like a doctor who just don't even have no type of, you know, anything about himself, he's still gonna be bound by other laws and stuff like that. Counselors who go through traditional training, they have a code of, or a body, a ethics body that hold them accountable, right? But it doesn't exist in this social media field, where in this social media space where there are the life coaches, the gurus, the online pastors and stuff like that. That these are the people that I feel like spiritual court is really meant for, because these are the people that really come after you spiritually. And because of their field, they have so much access to you, so much access. You tell them everything, everything. Listen, where you work, how much money you make, your kids' situations, everything they've been through, your spousal situations, everything they've been through, probably the people you done slept with, the diseases you done had, the bad financial decisions you've made. You're letting these people into your life to know your most or your weakest area. Because where are you going to seek this life coach? You're going to seek it in the area in which you are weakest. That's where they exploit you. And if we just had a way, like an accountability, a way of accountability, a way for people to seek redemption, vindication, and justice when they have been done wrong in this way. Then, what about those who have hurt you? I mean, some of us don't want, like, you know what I'm saying, somebody who's hurt us just to, be put in front of a firing squad and just put, took out of here. It's not that serious. But I mean, it's serious, but we have that grace and that understanding, and that, even the compassion, the love, really, to know that people make mistakes. But you still want to be able to say, like, this is what you have done to me. And for there to be some sort of way, like, let's say somebody has hurt you, right? And you you believe that the best way to redeem this situation is for that person to um seek counseling, especially before they return to the professional position that they were in, or before they return to life coaching, um that they, receive some type of uh, corrective training, or some type of counseling or something like that themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if we are being too harsh to one another about um about what we feel someone has done wrong, right? Or what a person has done wrong, right? Like, it's not feelings, but let's just say someone has done wrong, and but there's just no way back. There's just, like, I mean, what do you do? Just cancel the person, like, and then there's just no way back to, like, I mean, like, what if it was a genuine mistake and they're rectifying the situation? Is there a space for that? Is there a space for a person to say, this is what I have done to correct the situation? What if you took it wrong, and maybe you just want to be heard, to make sense of it, to process it, even to heal, so you can move forward, maybe in another church, or maybe with another coach, or you know but you can't even get past it, because as soon as you start to express what has happened to you, people try to shut you down, telling you to shut up and go heal, you know or attacking you for speaking out against their favorite person. And it's just like, yeah, this person can still be your favorite person, but not mine. You know what I'm saying? Because they abuse me. And can I just speak on that? You know? And then there could be like a path forward then. But we just don't have that. And so now I think people are just like, they have gone to the extremes of things to where, like, now you do wish harm on somebody. Now you'll never step foot in another church. Now you talk against every guru or life coach or whatever, because this one hurt you. And you be right, because you've been hurt, right? So now you're trying to protect yourself. So you don't want to just jump out there and take a chance on being hurt again. So I mean, it's not like you're wrong for protecting yourself, but then at the same time, it's like, how do we how do we even get to a space where, just because we exposed it, that stops it and reduces it from happening again? just saying, I think if there are so many benefits to this. Like, let's just do it. Okay? Like, let's just do it. Let's just use this situation with my father to see, can this be done? Think about a court system where believers, right? Because the Bible says you're not even supposed to be taking other believers to court. But it doesn't say that you don't have the right to express your grievances, seek some type of reconciliation, and if that's not possible, then seek something else. You know what I'm saying? And doing the steps that's actually like written out in the Bible. You know, it doesn't say that we can't hear each other out. You know, in fact, it says that we should be hearing each other out, that we're totally capable of it. Like, why aren't we capable? Because we feel like God got to do everything. God uses people. And so that's where I am now, y'all. I'm pressing charges against my father for spiritual crimes. And I know that there is no court system for believers, which is why I developed one. Okay? I developed one because I told you before that your purpose is probably wrapped all up in the problem, in your problem, right? Your purpose is in your problem. And when you get in problem solve mode, like myself, and you ask God, like, okay, God, I have a problem. Mm-hmm. And what's the purpose of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is supposed to come out of this? Like, why am I going through this? You know? And even if I'm not asking why I'm going through, I'm asking like, well, like, what can we get from this? You know, if I went through it now, you know what I'm saying? I want to get something from it, you know, I want to get some type of benefit. If it's a lesson learned, that's a benefit for me. What can I get from this experience? And what I got was that there are more daughters out there like myself who want to be heard. And they want to bring their case. Like, this is a case that I got, and I want y'all to listen to it, and I want y'all to, you know, like, let me know what your discernment tells you. And that's what I want. So I want y'all to like hear me, you know, I want you to hear the case. And I want us to determine, how do we rectify this situation? How do we make church safe again? You know, how do we create systems and spaces where that is safe for us? And I think that, you know, we'll get a lot of answers to these questions when we establish or when we start Kingdom Court. And so I think that we are there now. You know, I think we're at that point where it's time for us to start Kingdom Court. And I want to be the first to start it with my very own case of the religious narcissist, the narcissistic pastor, the hitman, and the preacher. Child. You know, and so I'm gonna be the first one to start it, and I hope that y'all are, you know, on board with this. You know, Ask God for discernment, child, and ask God to show you in the Bible where this is this is talked about, but um but never acted on. At least not, in any recorded history. But maybe it's time now, and maybe the things that we have been reading about in the Bible that have not yet come to fruition, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you were supposed to be the one to start it. And that's how I feel about Kingdom Court. I feel that God placed this problem for a purpose. Well, not that maybe that may not that God started the problem, but God is using the problem for a purpose. And I'm down for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get something out of this. Okay. We get some purpose out of this. So that's it, y'all. We got the hair. We got the hair all rolled up, braided up and rolled up. So I don't know. I guess tomorrow. I guess I'm probably gonna take it down about what, about 10 maybe? What time should I take it down? Should I take it down? Sure, I might put some type of wrap on my hair where you can't tell. You can't tell I got rollers. Okay. Because y'all, I want the rollers to stay in as long as possible so that curl be, what I'm saying, be in there good. And I don't sit under the dryer, on my own time. So I'm just gonna sleep on it and let it do its thing overnight. But I'm hoping, like, I hope that the curls are good and tight, and well defined, and that the braid, like when I take the braid out, that it looks good. I'm looking in the mirror over here. So yep, that's it, y'all. I'm pressing charges. Okay, I'm pressing charges. I'm not letting it go. Y'all, oh my God. Y'all. I know he was listening to me reading his book the other day. Here's what I think. I think he was on his way to church when I started reading it live, and he tuned in live. That's what I think. Mhm. I think the old man actually heard me read his book live, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I think this. I think this because of the way he behaved in church on Sunday. Okay, that sermon, y'all. He walked in the he got in front. He walked in front of the camera view with them doggone sunglasses on again. Why does he keep wearing sunglasses indoors? Can y'all please tell him that don't look good? And see, here's the thing. I don't think he realized, like, you're not supposed to just be coming off the street and walk up to the pulpit and start preaching, right? So did he have on his sunglasses the entire time that, before church started? Like, he was just sitting in there with sunglasses on? Or did he literally just walk in from outside and just walk up to the pulpit and start preaching? We got questions. So we got questions. Okay? We have questions. And it's like, I don't know if he used to do that back then, but it seems like if I noticed him doing it, I would have said something. I would have said something. But when I was there, he would be in his office, in the pastor's office, and then he, walk into the sanctuary from there. So he had already been in the building, you know? But now, why are you up in the pulpit behind a podium with sunglasses on? And it's not like these are some type of transition lenses or some type of like protection lenses or nothing like that. These are black. Okay? Like, you can't see pupil. You can't see you can't see eyeball the first. Why would he do that? Why would he? That's the weirdest thing. To be in the pulpit with sunglasses on. So he walks in front of the camera and he still got them sunglasses on. Tell me why he walks into himself to playing Deisha Haddon song. Child. And see, it's funny, right? Because like growing up, I guess Dietrich came out probably what in the 90s. I think we were still in Detroit when he came out with his first album. And my father's always been jealous of them, y'all. Like always been jealous. Like for a while, I don't know, it seems like for a while we wasn't even like listening to his stuff because I don't think we could. Um because of my father's jealousy. But probably I don't know, probably in the 2000s or something. It's probably like when we really started listening to it more, and then we started singing it in church too, singing certain songs. Um, but I mean, he's doing that for a reason. Like he knows all the stuff. He knows all the beef that's been going on about them trying to like get on to me about talking about their father and that connection, hitman stuff, and all of that. Um, but like he like my father has always used them as a clout chase, and it's crazy because he always hated them too at the same time. So it's like how you hate them and also using them. Like my nephew, my nephew, but we couldn't have nothing to do with him. So like it's like why are you bragging about him? You know, and you won't even let us have a relationship with them. Like weird. But that I'm telling y'all, those are the things that like the little clues I just started gathering along the years. Like this took decades, y'all, to like put all this together. That's the way it is with a deceiver. You don't even know how far back the lies go, you know? Like we're still. And I have been no contact with my father for over 5 years now. And we are still uncovering things that he has done. Still lies that he has told. And you would just like, you just don't even know how deep and how far back the deception goes. It's like a person like that, they'll even start lying on you before there was ever any beef or before there was ever any tension in your relationship. Sometimes you like think about it, y'all. Have you ever had a friend who was like a real bad liar, like a deceiver, and you realize like years later that they was telling lies on you, and and it just kind of like got deeper and deeper, and you don't even know like who they were talking to and what all they said, and then you realize that you was like people were treating you differently, but you never knew why, you know like you was just kind of like, oh, that's weird, like that so and so is looking at me different, so and so is looking at me weird, and then you realize that years ago like he was telling lies on you or saying that you had done certain things that you hadn't done, and so he gave people this perception of you had no clue of it, so this whole time, all these years, they've been thinking this about you because of something he said, and because he said it, y'all were never got close, never able to come to any type of like never able to converse or figure out if there was really something, or figure out that he was behind it all. That's how it is. And like even now, we are still like uncovering stuff, y'all. Even now, still uncovering stuff. But he walked in that camera in the camera view up in the pulpit area with a arrogance and a cockiness that mm, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen him quite like this. I don't know, y'all. It was his tone. It was the "We Welcome You" song, right? So this was like 90s or something, like late 90s, maybe. No, like yeah, mid late 90s or something like that when this song came out. And it's one of like, it's either like an interlude or like a intermission song or something like that. It's not, I don't even think it's like a full song. But my father played it, and he was that man played it, and he was saying, "We welcome you. He just kept saying it slow. We welcome you. Like like almost like in a seductive y'all. It's perverse. It like this is really, really perverse. He's perverse, you know? Mm. Weird, weird, weird. But he just kept saying, we welcome you. We welcome you. And then he like, where my glasses at? And then he got on them glasses, them black. You know what I'm saying? They like he know he can't even see good in the building with them black glasses on, child. Them the type of glasses you have to take off because if you keep them on while you inside, you gonna be blind. You're nearly blind with them on because they're that dark, you know. But he got them glasses on, and he's like, "We welcome you. We welcome you." You know, but they sunglasses though, so you can't see nothing. But he just trying to. He got the microphone. Let me get the microphone. He had the microphone, and he just like, "We welcome you." You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, this dude is a whole fool. He like, we welcome you. You know what I'm saying? And then he tells Nick is the keyboardist. He tells Nick like, you know, like go, like start turning it down. Cause he like, you can't just stop the song, you know what I'm saying? Cause this is gonna mess up his whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be able to give what he's trying to give, you know. So he like so he just gonna fade it out, just fade the music out ever so, gently, and then he starts singing his song, child. I don't even know. It might have been Father Bless Your Children. It might have been Falling in Love. I think it was Falling in Love. Falling in Love. If he really did Falling in Love, that just even speaks more volumes into what I'm saying. He got up there, y'all, with an arrogance and a cockiness. Okay, because he reprobate. Only a person who is really like reprobate in their mind would be uh would get some type of fuel and supply off of this, you know. But he's like he's feeding off of this, like he's enjoying it, you know. Hey Rolanda. Hey beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Hey y'all, like the video. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. This was just like an impromptu. I was like, I'm just gonna get on there and talk to my people while while I roll my hair and stuff. Um but yeah, I need to go eat something. Have I eaten today? I did. Yeah, I totally threw up earlier today. Um I had such a good morning, right? Tell me why I'm all over the house line dancing. Knowing good well my knees hurt. I need to be sitting my butt down somewhere. So I'm around the house and I started cleaning up, and then kind of like, line dancing through the house as I was cleaning up. And so like by all accounts, morning was good. I think I woke up like at 3 something, but I couldn't really get my body going for real until like like I don't know, 8, I guess, I laid down for like an hour and then my son was supposed to come over, but he never came. And because he was coming over, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and get up. Um, but I had laid back down probably like 6 something and then got back up at like 7 something because he was supposed to be coming over. So I'm like, got the music on, I'm line dancing through the house and all of that stuff. What was my point? Oh, and then and then like all of a sudden, I don't know, like some hours later, it's like probably like 11 something, right? I just started feeling really nauseous. But y'all remember when I was on the video, like what was it, like 2 days ago? And it was the one where I was like showing y'all the glam room area where I put my makeup on and stuff. Y'all can only see what's behind me, but I was showing y'all what's in front of me. And then I just got nauseous. I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'm like I might have taken my medicine with not enough food on my stomach or something like that. And maybe that's why. Cause that's how it felt. Like, I felt like the little queasiness, in my stomach. And then, I tried to drink some water. I tried to walk it off. I sat outside for a minute, walked up the sidewalk for a little bit, trying to walk it off. And then it just came on up, child. I was like, well, here it is coming. So I'm always ready for it, really. Like I don't even know if I have any in here, but I keep these I keep yep, here we go. See? I keep these. I keep these in the house. You know, like they be having at the hospital. The emesis bag. I just call it a throw up bag, child, because that's what it is. That's what I do with it. So I just keep these. It's called an emesis bag. You see? But it's in case you get sick. So child, this comes in handy as it always does. But like back when I was having like real bad stomach problems, I bought a sleeve of them. It was like a bunch of them in there, like a bulk thing of them, because I was throwing up that much. So, kind of like the fact that I've thrown up like probably twice in the last month. I don't really like that. Because it gets me to thinking like, okay, how is my health? How are things doing? And I told y'all I was getting a real bad breakout on my face, and right filter so it smooths it out, but I also have my makeup, so you can't really see it, but I have like a lot of scars on my face and like bumps that just like keep coming, but it's like it's nothing in them, they just hurt. um and so I don't know, sometimes it makes me think like that the lupus is getting active. I told y'all before I have lupus and fibromyalgia, but the lupus is not active, right? It's like in an inactive state. I guess I have like just it's there. I have like some symptoms, but it just is not really problematic that much yet. Or I don't even want to say yet. Like, not, God, I hope this don't happen. So anytime I have like something new happening, a breakout, or stuff going on with my stomach or something like that, then I start getting nervous that the lupus might be getting active or something. And it makes me, feel a ways. Just get a little nervous. Like, I hope not, God. I mean, the fibromyalgia is already enough, child. But I know somebody who has fibromyalgia and lupus too, and they say the fibromyalgia is worse than the lupus. Like their fibromyalgia symptoms are worse. So I don't know. But after I threw up, I went ahead and I laid back down. Even though like I had intentions of really being more productive today. And but sometimes my body just don't cooperate. And that's the thing with me. I know that y'all probably like look at me and y'all see me line dancing, and then you see me out in the community and I'm doing things, and I'm just so grateful, that I've really come a long way health wise, but I still have a lot of issues that I just never know when it's going to creep up, when it's going to be a problem. I have I have fatigue, and that's very problematic. And then, of course, I have like sleep problems and all of that stuff. What else was I was about to tell y'all something specifically about that. I don't know. I just forgot. Anyways, so I'm just, see, like the line dancing and stuff that I do is like it's like to keep myself healthy too, because like when I first was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I was like not moving at all, y'all. Like I was like in the bed like a lot. Like it was bad, it was real bad. And in a dark room because I was having migraines and like body aches, and like it was times I can't touch my skin, like my nerves is all it just the nerves in my skin are just raging. And it's just like weird stuff. And then I get like faint, dizzy spells. And that's what I started feeling earlier, and that's what I was feeling the other day when I was on live. And I was like, just all of a sudden I just felt sick. It's just like it's like something that just comes over me, and then I just feel faint, and like weak. And then another thing is like I have to stay active in order to like keep the fibromyalgia symptoms at bay. But then, when the fibromyalgia symptoms are acting up, then I don't want to be active, But it's like sometimes I make myself, when I go to line dance class, of course I love it and I end up having a good time, but sometimes I like make myself do it to stay active. And of all the things I could do to stay active, that's what I love, like I actually enjoy it. So, I'd rather be doing something I enjoy, and that's what I enjoy. So I do that to keep the fibromyalgia from kicking in. But then with like the joint pains and stuff that I have, because I think that my arthritis symptoms and stuff like that is caused by the lupus. So I've been having like more problems in my knees and in my hands. Did you guys remember I was wearing the compression sleeves, and then I got to order another one because those weren't really all that good. They weren't really helping. So I'm gonna order another compression sleeves, and then I have to go get x-rays on my hands and knees to see if they see any activity or any injuries or anything like that. So like, yeah, a lot of people like talk about the way I dance and about because they say I'm smooth, and then I am, what I'm saying, I'm smooth with it, okay. But I also am very like cautious about my body. I'm conscious about like injuring myself and stuff like that, because like the worst thing would be like to injure myself and then I can't line dance because I'm injured, so like I take it real easy when I'm line dancing, and I don't do a whole lot of hard stomps and too much dipping it low, even though I've gotten a little borderline, doing too much on my knees. So, I got to pull back on doing all of that stuff like that. I got to be a lot more intentional about my movements so that I don't injure myself. So that's my story, y'all. I'll see y'all later. But I want y'all to watch this. I want y'all to watch this sermon with me so I can show y'all exactly what I was talking about. But we've already been on here for over 2 hours, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna go eat and probably take a nap, y'all. Okay. Look, it don't matter what time I go to sleep, y'all. It's all gonna be a nap. Okay, it's all gonna be a nap because I don't really feel like I get much sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very incremental. Okay, so each time I go to sleep, I just be like, it's a nap. Even though it's 9:21 here, it's a nap, child. I'm gonna be up in a few. Yep. But no worries. I'm just trying to embrace it, just trying to embrace it as how it is, and then try to fix what I can fix, or change what I can change. But, keep me in your prayers, honey. Keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you in my prayers. Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all. And remember, you are important to me. I need you to survive. I love y'all. Bye-bye for now. Bye.